Hello, everybody. I'm the uncle,
I'm the cowboy.
and we're here on July 24th. It's Gil Hodges Bobblehead Day in at Citi Field, and we're going to the game. My friend Jerry gave us tickets to the Met game, Met and Padres. We're going to see if the Mets can finally beat the Padres once in this three-game series. But we're excited about that. Going to see Gil Hodges being celebrated at Citi Field. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's see. There's so many things going on. I do want to show everybody. This is my Gil Hodges jersey, which I'll be wearing to the game tonight. Again, courtesy of my friend Jerry. And I'm very excited about that because you all know how long overdue this honor is for Gil. Now, last month they had Gil Hodges Bobblehead Day in Los Angeles, and my friend Alan Meyerdog sent me the bobblehead, and it's really nice. I have it in the other room. I should have brought it in. Maybe I'll get it later. And it's got him in the Brooklyn uniform with the Brooklyn hat. And I know the Mets is going to have him in a blue blazer, a blue windbreaker with the Mets insignia on it. Memo to Steve Cohen. That's not why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe they'll give him a jersey.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so a lot of things to talk about. We just finished the All-Star game. How's that? What do you think?
So we'll start with the home run derby.
Yeah.
I was really hoping Pete would get the three-peat, so you could just say three-peat. Sounds cool. But unfortunately, he didn't. He ended up losing in the semifinals to Julio Rodriguez, and what a performance by him. I mean, he had 82 home runs over the 3 rounds, and he didn't win.
Kid can
I think
play.
that's crazy.
That
Yeah.
kid can
His
play.
swing is nice, too, just watching it. He wasn't even really trying to hit home runs. I know that sounds crazy since it's the home run derby. His swing's just so smooth.
Yeah,
It just naturally
smooth swing.
happens.
It is a smooth swing. He's a talented kid, man.
Very
It's
21
going to be
years old.
special. A lot of great young talent in baseball now. Yeah, that was fun to watch. Kind of fun. I don't know if you heard this, but the All-Star game was in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium, and the fans in center field were yelling at Soto when he was in the outfield, "Future Dodger, future Dodger, future Dodger." So let's talk about that. Soto is going to get traded. Now, let me say this. He'll get traded, maybe in the next week or maybe in the offseason, but he will get traded. So in speaking to my nephew here, I asked him what he thought it would take for the Mets to get him. And he's throwing out names like J.D. Drew, Dom Smith, a couple of prospects.
2 of our top 3 prospects.
Okay. Here's what you need to think. You need to think 3 or 4 of your top 5 prospects. And a good player like McNeil. Not J.D., not guys you want to get rid of. This isn't a dumping trade.
I understand, but, I mean, for one, Soto will be giving up Francisco Alvarez, who's baseball's top prospect right now, not in the majors. Riley Green.
And he's 20 years old. A lot can happen. Right?
20 years old, true, but the guy hits.
He's hitting 87 at AAA. So he's hit a little bump in the road, but he's 20. So he'll probably overcome that. So go ahead.
Give up Ronnie Mauritius, whose pipelines, I think he's 76th ranked prospect infielder, who's another guy that just flat out hits. And then probably going to have to give up Brett Beatty, which Brett Beatty's the one I really don't want to give up because Beatty plays everywhere in the field. You could turn him into any position you want, and he hits.
How old is he?
23.
All right, well, that's a good start, but not Dom Smith and J.D. Davis.
I mean, I think those
Why
are
would
guys.
Washington even want those guys?
Washington needs all the help they can get.
Not from those guys. Those guys, if
J.D.
they're
Davis
rebuilding, they're looking for 2, 3, 4 years down the road. Those guys may not even be in the major leagues by then. I mean, Smith has shown nothing.
Yeah, he's not.
I mean,
He's not that great.
he's not. So,
I wouldn't do it if you had to give up McNeil, though.
well, then you don't do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
McNeil's a good player, but this is Juan Soto.
He was hitting 190 before last month.
Juan Soto,
There's no denying.
who's 23. He's hitting the World Series. He's hit on the biggest stage. The guy can just flat out play. And he's going to get better. He's not even in his prime yet. So you're really going to have to dig deep. And you don't have to pay him for 3 years. You've got the rest of this year and the next 2 years before he's a free agent.
If they do get him, and I say they theoretically do extend him to a long-term contract, imagine him and Lindor playing together for the next 12 years. Two of baseball's superstars on the same team. That's like Trout and Ohtani over in LA, except the Mets win games. Okay, I don't know about lately.
I don't know if I mentioned Lindor with Trout and Ohtani either.
I would.
Yeah, well, you would. You would also trade JD and Dominic.
Just
Okay.
get him in the deal
Right.
and get him out of New York.
See, that's your attitude. Get him out of New York.
JD Davis
Washington
is a
don't
decent
care about
player. He's not great by any means, but he's not a bad player.
You know,
Dom Smith's a bad player.
yeah, Dom Smith's not good. I always liked JD's bat. I thought he had a good bat. He doesn't have a position, you know, and unless you want to tie up your DH slot with him. And I don't know if his bat is that strong to carry a DH slot. I don't know. We'll see. But that package, you know, they're going to have to upgrade that package. Okay, so that's what else do we want to cover? We covered Hodges. We covered Soto. Where do you think Soto is going to go?
I'm thinking Seattle.
Wow. Okay.
I just think they have the most to offer him prospect-wise, because the Mets farm system is kind of depleted outside those top 3 prospects.
Okay.
Same with the Yankees. If he goes to the Yankees, they'd have to give up Jason Dominguez, who is only an A-ball right now, but he's 20 years old, switch hitting.
And maybe Volpe, too.
Everything. And Volpe, too. Yeah, that's true. And if I'm the Yankees, I'm not giving up those 2 guys, even for a guy like Juan Soto to play at Yankee Stadium. But I'm thinking Seattle. I think Seattle would give up Kalenic. I think they give up a few prospects.
Kalenic has no value now.
Yeah.
He's been sent down to the minus 2-3 times. He hasn't hit up here.
I think they give up a few other prospects they could offer. Maybe Ty France in there because he has some value.
He does. Listen, that's a possibility I hadn't thought of. Mainly because I hadn't thought about them taking on that, you know, contract that could begin with a 5. You know.
Yeah.
And in terms of the Yankees, I could see the Yankees making a deal for this guy. You see that swing in Yankee Stadium, that left-handed swing? I'm not saying I want to see it, Chris.
I would hate for him to go to Yankees. I like Juan Soto. I don't want to have to not root for him.
Okay. But if the Yankees made that trade, that could take some of the heat off signing Judge. Yes?
True, yes.
You know?
Anyway. I think Judge is going to leave anyways.
You know, up until recently, I wouldn't have thought that, but maybe. You might be right. You might be right.
The reason is, like, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but in the All-Star Game interview he had with some reporter, I don't know if you saw it, but some reporter asked him, like, what do you have to say to the kid that was crying that, like, Aaron Judge might not be Yankee?
Right.
And he kind of, like, deflected and said, well, there's a lot of great Yankees on the team.
Right. Yeah, but I think that reporter, first of all, that was a BS question.
I agree, yeah.
You can't frame a question like that. So shame on that reporter. Secondly, I think he was caught flat-footed. He wasn't expecting that.
True. Yeah.
And, you know, he handled it wrong, but I think he was just caught.
I mean, you can't say you're not going anywhere. And
No.
go somewhere. You can't say you're going to go.
You know, at the end of the day, though, I still think the Yankees are going to sign him. How did they not sign this guy?
He's the face of the team.
He is, you know,
He's becoming
homegrown
the face of
guy.
baseball, really.
I mean, 37 home runs already. Hit another one today. Okay, so all right, so that's that. I think Soto. I'm afraid he might get traded to the Giants. Yeah, Giants need somebody like that. They got enough guys to get it done. The reason I think they might not do it is they've got so many other holes on that team. I've been watching this catcher, Joey Bart, who was their number one. They touted him for years. This guy can't hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, he is awful.
I think he's going to turn it around.
But, you know, I've said that for a couple of years. I'm going to pull up his stats while we're talking. And I just don't think he's any good. Maybe he's a AAA hitter, but let's see. So this year, he's hitting 181. He played
Dom Smith.
Is that the bar, Don Smith? And he only had 6 plate appearances last year. But the year before that, 2020, he had 111 plate appearances. And where is it? Why am I missing it?
233.
And he hit 233. So he's a lifetime 208 hitter so far. And look, it's only 265 plate appearances, but he looks, I'm telling you, I watched the game last night. Tyler Anderson, who throws 93 miles an hour tops, was blowing it by him.
He's got sneaky stuff, though. He's got that lefty run.
He does, but he's a righty, too. I mean, Bart's a righty.
Yeah.
I think they've got big holes. And they're the oldest team in the league. Second year in a row. Crawford signed a big contract. Second time he signed a big contract, and he goes in the tank after he signs the contract until his walk year, and then he has a big year, and then he goes into the tank again. Belt is no good. What's Belt? They just don't have enough talent there. So I don't think they'll make that move. I don't think, but I mean they've got pieces to do it if they want to get a new face of the franchise, which they haven't had since steroid Barry Bonds left.
Posey, you could argue.
Oh, Posey. That's right. I'm sorry. Posey was certainly Hall of Fame. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, so in terms of where else, I don't see him going to the Dodgers, to be honest.
I hope he doesn't.
I know they could pull it off if they wanted to. But, I mean, I don't want to give up that catcher, Cartaya, who's a beast. He's 20 years old.
3 good catchers.
They do. They got a lot of good catchers. And they may trade him again, like they traded Ruiz last year.
I like Ruiz.
But they're going to have to sign the shortstop, Trey Turner. They sign him or get another shortstop because I don't think Vargas is ready. Yeah, they'll have 2 shortstops.
I'll try to play second.
He's not a good second baseman. Did you not see him last year?
Him as a second baseman, and he's gonna hit no matter where he plays in the field. If he hits like that, we'll find a spot.
Come back down to earth.
If you hit like that, they'll find a spot.
Okay, all right. Let's wrap this up. So we'll see what the next week brings. And you're going to school in
a month from today.
A month from today, so we may catch another podcast before.
Yeah, we'll definitely do one more before
Christian leaves. Yeah. And let's go Mets. Maybe they can win 1 game from San Diego.
Atlanta's half a game behind.
And the Dodgers have a 10.5 game lead. Huh, go figure. All right, I'm the uncle.
I'm the carbuncle.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.